If you can't see my hands, let me know. But I'm from what I can see in the camera, I can see my hands. You don't want to see my face. You want to see my hands working on this. So what I'm doing is I'm making a neon hat. I promised one of my friends in Michigan that I would make her a hat. So I'm going to go ahead and make this, and you let me know what view you can see so that I can do this. I'm hoping it'll look okay. And I've got my iPad on too, so I can kind of watch things. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this started, and I've got my iPad on so I can watch the comments that are coming in. Oh, I've got an award already. Thank you for the award. Awesome. You guys are so awesome. This is the yarn that I'm using. It's a neon yarn. I'm trying to do this so that you don't see my face, but that you see my hands. So that'll be good enough. If you can see my hands, that's what you need to see. So this is how I'm going to do it. And you tell me if you can't see anything, let me know. But I'm looking at my iPad and I've got it muted, and I can see my hands on the iPad. I'm trying to do it like Michelle does it. Michelle, I can't think of her last name. Alexander, I believe it is. She's Native Graffiti. But you can see part of my body. But as long as you can see my hands, that's the main thing. I'm sitting with the tripod in front of me, and I'm against my bed, and I'm sitting here, and I'm going to do this. But I thank you for whoever gave me the award. That's awesome. Thank you for giving me the award. You guys are awesome already. Let's see who that was. Well, thank you. Thank you so very, very much. That's awesome. I hope everybody comes in. This is not my challenge, but I'm going to let you see how I'm doing this. You just see, you have to make a, I'm just going to use, you can see, this is a, just let know this is my first stitch. You just start going, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around. You have to go around twice to put your you have to in order to cast on. Excuse me, I'm getting all flustered. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it around twice. Now this should be a good angle for you to see, and because you want to see me and not the and you want to see this, and that makes me cast on my first stitch, and I'm going to go around again. Every stitch I'm going to use similar, go around twice, and then I'm going to go ahead and just lift the top one over the bottom, or the bottom over the top, excuse me. I'm going to do it again all the way around. I may have to step out of the camera range in order to get a stitch marker, but I think I might do okay right now. If I need anything else, well, welcome. Good to see you. Oh, you guys are awesome. If I have to step away to get a drink of water, I'll have to do that. I don't have a drink of water sitting on my, but see this, anybody that's never done loom knitting before, this is very simple. You just take the bottom over the top, and you can see me. Hopefully I didn't want to angle it down too far, because if I angle it down too far, then you couldn't see me at all. So you want to be able to see me some. So see, and I'm just wrapping around. This saves me from going around the loom twice, because you e-wrap, and then once you have your cast on, you don't have to wrap around again. But normally I would just e-wrap and go around once and then go around the second time. Well, I learned how to double e-wrap when I watched a YouTube video. They were double e-wrapping. As you can see how I'm doing that. It's making it like a back, like an E in the back. And then I wrap it around again, as you can see. And then I take the bottom over the top. I wrap around like I'm doing it backwards E. Where's it? Maybe it's a forward E. I don't know if it's a backwards or forward, but anyway, make it an E. See how I've got that many stitches on already. Got to go all the way around the loom. And this is my cast on. Once I get the cast on done, then I can start my rows, and I'll show you how I do those. One of my friends, like I said, from Michigan, she wanted to see me do this hat, and I thought, well, I'll just come in here and do this hat then. Let you see how it's done, because the other positions I've been in, it didn't work very well. So if you don't see my face, that's okay. You don't have to see my face. You just want to Watch me do this with my hands. That's the basic thing, is watch me with my hands and see how I'm doing this. And I just pulled my chair up and I got the tripod in front of me sitting lean against my bed, and I've got my knees against the bed, and I'm just doing it like this. This is very simple, very, very simple. And I can put it down on my lap too. You can still see. I've got it in my hands position that you can see. It's real difficult to set this up exactly the way it should be done, but I think I'm coming pretty close. I just thought I had to work with the camera angle on my iPhone to try to get it the angle I needed it. I had it all the way down, but it was too far down, and my tripod was tipping over. And I thought, well, I couldn't see myself at all, couldn't see my hands or anything. So I wanted to be able to watch and watch myself on here so I can see what I'm doing. I kind of stopped on my iPad, but I guess that doesn't really matter because I'm watching myself in my phone so I can see what I'm doing, because I am broadcasting from my phone right now. As you can see, I'm just doing my E-wrap. That's what they call the E-wrap. This is a double E-wrap. You wrap it around both times. The first time, just one time, to get all your stitches on there. See what this is looking like? And it's it's an E in the back. See, I know you can't tell it too well, but it's like an E in the back. And you always know that's the inside of the hat. And what I'm doing here is the outside of the hat. This is like a neon stripe. I bought this at Walmart. This is a real pretty yarn. I thought I would use it, and I would see what kind of a hat I could make with it. And I know I can get several hats out of here. I can get several. And anybody wants any hats, you just let me know. Just message me or whatever. If you got Facebook Messenger or whatever, then you message me and let me know that you want this neon hat. Because I know my friend Erlene, I thought she'd be in here. She said she'll watch the replay, but she wanted to watch me do this neon hat. And I thought, well, I might as well come in here and show you how to do this. One of these times I'm going to show you how to do the diamond painting too, but I'll have to set my table up for that. I can get by without my table on this. But when it comes to the diamond painting, I have to have a table. But as you can see I'm clearly wrapping these around twice. You can see how I'm doing it. I'm holding it this way because it's a lot easier to do it. And this is the easiest way to do it. Now, some people probably hold it different than I do. Everybody's a little bit different, but you do what's best for you. Which is easiest for you, that's what you do. And just continue going all the way around. Like I said, I think this is a 62 peg loom, I believe. Going all the way around the loom and stopping. And I'll probably have to stop in the middle, probably go get my my stitch marker so I don't lose my place, because it should be marked every time. But I think I can get by without it right now. I hope people start coming in. I only see one person in here right now, but I think people will start coming in as time goes on. Let's see what I've probably got in here. Oh, I've got 67. Got 67. That's awesome. Oh, that was just my stitch marker that fell on the floor. I'll get it. So I've got 67 already. I've only been here just a few minutes, so that's awesome. Right now, my iPad looks like it's frozen up. I'm not moving, but that's okay. I've just got it there for the comments. If anybody makes comments, I can see the comments, because I cannot see them on the phone because it's down too low. So I've just got the iPad sitting there so I can see any comments that anybody makes. I just thought I would show you how to do this hat. A lot of people might be interested in loom knitting. It's an art. It's an art form. It's coming upon itself. I see there's people in here now. Thank you for coming in. Who's in here? Oh, there she is. Hi, Erlene. I see you finally made it in. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm on my iPad. I'm on my phone to do this, but I'm looking on my iPad for the comments because I can't see the comments from the phone. I know you came in, so I only got it for that. I'm not really doing anything on the iPad. I'm just sitting there. I'm kind of frozen, but As long as I don't freeze on my iPhone, that's the main thing. I've got it on Wi-Fi, and I've got a pretty good connection now because I got a Wi-Fi extender, so it's keeping my connection up, I believe. Um, I don't know what that was. I couldn't tell. I couldn't see if it was one of mine or somebody came in perhaps. I don't know. I think it was, but anyway, you can see that I'm double E wrapping. And this is the hat that you wanted to see me do, Earlene, with that real pretty yarn, with the neon yarn um, that I got from Walmart. It's Red Heart yarn, and this is a simple pattern. And as I get into it, I won't get this whole hat done on here tonight because you won't. That'll be too long because it takes too long to make it. But I'm just going to show you the start of it, how to get it started, and what you have to do to get it started. Like I said, what I'm doing now is I'm double E wrapping, so I don't have to go around my loom again. Because if you go around it once, then you got to go around it again, and that takes too long. So if I double E wrap it, then I don't have to go around it again, and it's all cast on. I've almost got it. I'm almost getting around it. Right here's where I started, so I'm almost there. As you can see, and go clear around this. I think this is 62 peg loom. Oh, you just got home? Okay. Well, I was in Vanita's broadcast. She wanted me up as I was a guest in Vanita's broadcast, so that's why I wasn't broadcasting before this. And then it got to get late where she was at, so it was going on 8 o'clock. So she thought she better just because she'd been on well over 2 hours. So, and she had over 700 in her broadcast. So she wanted to leave. So I thought, well, I'll try to get, and this took me a little time to get set up for this. As I started, first of all, I was going to use the tripod that I use for my cooking broadcast. Well, that wouldn't stand up with my iPad. It fell over, and I thought, no, I'm going to have to use the fluoride tripod. This is the tripod I use for my broadcast from church, because this one I can bend down too. So I thought, well, this one I'll have to do. So, and if it stands up, it doesn't fall over. That one will fall over. This one won't. So unless I knock it over, and I don't intend to knock it over. If I have to get off my chair, I'll just push my chair back. But as you can see, hope you can see. If you can't see, let me know. And I can set it down a little bit lower, but I don't want to set it down too low because you may not be able to see my hands at all. I want to be able to see my hands without my body, but I haven't figured that one out yet. Michelle just shows her hand and not her body, but I guess it doesn't really matter. As long as you're seeing what you need to see, you need to see my hands. So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing me work. Now it's flashing. I don't know and I've got a good connection. I've got it on Wi-Fi right now. So it's got a good connection. With that extender, it's better than it was. So if you can't see me or anything, let me know. And I can change the position real easily. But I believe that it should be okay. I'm just, like I said, I'm just about around this loom. It's coming along pretty good. It doesn't take very long to cast on. It's the other stuff that comes on in between. It takes a little longer. Let me see what I've got on here now. Oh, I've got 91. I got 91. That's cool. So we'll see how many. This is not the halves challenge, but I'll see how many I get on here from afterwards. So it's coming up. I just don't see the people in here. But thank you for the award again. Awesome. You guys are awesome. I don't know what I have as far as my $50. I know I'm getting I think I'm over 50% of my $50. And I'm not begging whatsoever. If I'm worthy to get the awards, you'll give them to me. If not, you won't. So I don't ask for them, and I do appreciate each and every one because I'm trying to make a goal too. I'm just unrolling some yarn here. So I'm trying to make my goal of $200 so I can, get cashed out, get paid out, just like Randy has already. 61%. That's awesome, Erlene. Well, let's get in there. It's getting a little bit help. The last day Alex was in there. He gave me about 3 or 4. Gave me one. I got so many awards last night. Over $8 in awards last night. So that really That really helps. And I appreciate every bit of it, because this will be the most I've ever made in a month. I'm lucky I made 30 before, but now I'm getting close. I may even get 100 this month. And that'd be awesome if I got 100, but I'm not going to beg for it. If you choose to give it to me, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. It's whatever you choose to do. Um, so I'm so appreciative. And if you can't see what I'm doing, let me know. But I'm trying to do this as close as I can. I don't want to be kissing the camera, but I want to be close enough that you can see what I am doing, and that if you see me taking the bottom over the top. I don't know why I said top over the bottom, because you take the bottom over the top, and then just wrapped it around twice. As you can see, it's a double E, and just take the bottom over the top. And I'm almost there. Here's where my beginning stitch was. I'm going to have to go get you're going to have to, I'm going to step away from the camera just for a little bit. I'm going to go get my stitch marker, because I know where it's at, and I'll be right back. I'm going to pull my chair out so can't tripod. I'm going to be right back. So you can talk amongst yourself till I get back. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to take this stitch marker, and I'm going to place it under this first peg where I put my slip stitch. And all I do is just pull this off, hold it there, and then just slip this on, and then just put this back on. That way, with my stitch marker, I'll know where the beginning of my ends and my rounds are, because if I don't do that, I won't know where the beginning of my rounds are, and I'll be going too far, and then I'll be going round and round, and not marking my rows like I should. So there. This stitch here, I'm going to have to go around twice. Well, that's actually going to be the end of the row, because I'm going to have to go. I only went around it once. I'm going to have to go around it twice again. So that'll be the end peg. It doesn't matter if it's the end peg or the beginning peg. At least it's marked. So, oh, hi from Naples. Good to see you. I can't see the comments on my phone because the way I've got it angled down, but I'm looking at the comments on my iPad, so I can see what you guys are saying. For those of you that just come in, you can see I'm loom knitting a hat. If you can look at the inside, these are all E's. They're upside down, but they're E's. It's E's on the inside, and I'm just about around the loom. This is the outside of the loom, and I'm just about around it. What I'm doing is I'm double E wrapping. If you know how to loom knit, then you probably know what I'm doing, but I'm double E wrapping in order to avoid going around the loom again. I found that when I did watched a YouTube video, they did this, and I thought, well, that makes sense not to have to go around it twice, because it takes a long time to do it. Okay. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Cammie, it's a lot of people don't know anything about loom knitting. As you can see, these are very, very small pigs, very small. That's what loom knitting involves. It's just pigs, but believe me, it's easier to do it than needle knitting, but you can still lose your stitches on here, which I've done. And I started this hat before, and I had to take it out because Erlene was in the broadcast when I started this, and it wasn't set up like this, so it wasn't as good a broadcast. But I ended up dropping a stitch, and then I couldn't figure out how to get back on. It was clear down the middle of, and I had done enough of the hat, and it was clear down, and I had to pull it too far up. So I thought, I'm just going to take it out and start over. And then I wasn't counting my rows, and then I got mixed up because I wasn't counting my rows. If I count my rows, then I'm better off. I know exactly what I'm doing then. So, but you see, I'm double E wrapping. This is real simple. So I thank everybody for coming in. I thank you for the awards. Thank you for taking the time to come in here and support me. Oh, it looks like 119. I'm doing pretty good right now. It seems like these crafting broadcasts brings people in here. Now, I should have made this the hats challenge, but probably next week I'll do a hats challenge with one of my projects, and I should get it pretty easily, because Monday I struggled to get the challenge made because I had to do 2 broadcasts in order to get enough. The first one I got, I think 160 or 190. I'm not sure exact amount. And I was getting so tired. People weren't coming in, so I just stopped the broadcast. Then I did another one right away. Did my crafting broadcast, and I ended up with 278. So I did make it, and I was happy about that. So I thought, well, I'm going to do another broadcast, and I'm going to make it. Now, what I'm going to do here, since this one, I'll put one on here, I'm going to go wrap around this again, and I'm going to take this one off, and there, that'll be my this will be my last one then, so I know where I'm starting on it. And these look like diaper pins. This doesn't want to stay hooked, but they just try to pig that closed. It looks like a diaper pin. It's supposed to stay closed, but it keeps popping open. This is not a real good one, but I'm gonna. There, I got it closed, and that's just a good stitch marker. I've got several stitch markers. Oh, thank you for the award. This is awesome. Thank you so much, Cammie. You guys are helping me tremendously, and I really appreciate that. Now, if you can't see too much, let me know, but I don't want to angle this down too far, because if I angle it down too far, I'm not going to see anything. So this is a setup I've never done before. I've got my tripod sitting right here, and I'm in a chair, and I'm looking down at what I'm doing instead of right at the same angle. Now that I put all these on here, you can see I've done it all the way around. See, I've done it all the way around. You can see all these on here. All the way around. Now I'm going to start my knit and purl. What I'm going to do is 1 knit and 1 purl, and I'll show you how that's done. The purls are more time consuming than the knits, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to e-wrap the knits. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap it around. Your watch. I'm just going to wrap it around, and I'm going to leave it on the peg. And the reason for that is I can come back. Once I get the round up, and I think I have to do something, I get distracted or something, have to feed the dogs or something, and I come back, I lose count. This way I see, well, oh, that was a knit. Now I got to go back and and I found this is a knit, and this is a purl, and now I'm doing a knit again, and I leave them right on there, and now I'm doing another purl. And these are very simple. People don't like them very well, but you can see what I'm doing. I'm scooping this up like a shell, and then putting it back on the hook, back on the peg, I should say. Now I'm wrapping around again, as you can see, and that's my knit. Then I put this behind. You see what I'm doing? I'm coming from underneath like this, grabbing that I had there, just like that, coming up, grabbing this with my loom hook so I don't drop it, pulling this off, then taking from the loom hook, putting it back on the peg, and pulling it. Oh, you're eating a Wendy's. Oh, those are good, aren't they, Earlene? I haven't had one in a long time. I love salads. Maybe I haven't had one from Wendy's. Maybe I thought I had, but well, that's okay, Earlene. Salad's good for you any time of the day. That's good. So you can see I'm scooping that up. I'm going underneath. You can see how I'm going underneath. And if you can't tell, and I can bring this peg or the thing a little bit closer. If you can see these grooves in here, this is where I catch my yarn. Without my thing goes right in these grooves like this. That's how I'm able to loom knit. Without those grooves in there, I can't do that. This only got the grooves on the outside. Now there are some looms that are made. I've got a double knitting loom that's it rotates, a rotating loom, and it's got them on the inside and outside, because you do it that way, because if you got two rows, and you do the outside ones first, and then you do the inside. But normally just the one like this, it just has them on the outside. This is not considered double knit. Double knit, you'll have 2 rows. You'll have the 2 looms on my rotating loom. That's double knit, and you could double knit a hat. This is only going to be single knit. This is what they call I can't even think of it now. My daughter was in here. She would say, I forget what it is, but anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting a brain freeze. But anyway, flat panel. I just happened to think about it. It's a flat panel. That's what they call, this is what they call a flat panel hat. Just um, just one time around, just one loom with a double knit on these looms. Like I had my rotating loom, which you've seen me use this on Periscope before. It's got two looms. You got an inside one and an outside one, and you take and you weave back and forth between all the pegs, and you knit that way. You cast on, and it's quite time consuming. Let me tell you, I haven't done anything on that for quite a while, but because I've been stopping and trying to work on Alex's blanket and gloves. Yeah, I've never made gloves before. I've made socks, but I've never made gloves. Yeah, they would be hard because of the fingers. Although there are patterns out there for them, but I have never tried to make them. You can make fingerless gloves, which probably would be easier, but something, fingerless gloves kind of defeat the purpose if you're going to wear them in the cold weather. Your fingers are going to get cold, so I'd rather not do that. Mittens would be easier because you would just have the thumb to worry about, not all the fingers. So I've never tried to make gloves. I don't usually wear gloves. I've got gloves, but I don't wear them unless it's really freezing cold out. I do have some, but my problem is I lose them. So I'd rather not have gloves, wear them, and then lose them. I keep buying gloves every year because I'll lose them somewhere along the line. I don't know. I don't know how I do that, but I end up losing them. So I would just rather not wear gloves unless I have to. So, but like I said, I'm getting around this loom now. And like I said, what I'm doing for those who are just coming in is I'm knitting and purling these rows. I'm going to do this for 10 rows. And what I'm doing is I'm e-wrapping the knit pegs, and I'm purling the purl pegs, but I'm leaving these two strands on here. I'm leaving the top one on here so that I can go back and I don't have to count, because if I get up and go to the bathroom or something, I won't lose count and I can see where I left off and say, oh yeah, I left off with a purl. Now the next one's a knit. So I just leave this on here, and then when I finish up. Now there have been times when I've started knitting again and forgot to finish the row by going back and taking them off, knitting them off. They call it knitting off, and I wonder why there was 3 on there, and I said, oh no, I forgot to knit them off. But usually I'm pretty good in seeing them on there, so I'll stop and do that and you'll see me do that. But these are very simple. It's beginning to it'll take shape eventually, but you can see there's some with two loops on and some with only one. The 2 loops are the knit ones, and the 1 loop is the purl. And this will be done for 10 rows, and then I start the pattern. Anyway, I've never made gloves before. This is actually a hat loom, but you can also make scarves on it into a flat panel. And basically what you would do is on this loom, if you use this for a scarf, you would mark out your loom with your stitch markers and go from point A to point B, depending on how many stitches you'd have to cast on. Like say 20 stitches. Well, you would take any, because these pegs since they're round, you start anywhere. You just mark the first peg, and then when you get to 20, then you mark the last peg. So what you would do is you would loom knit in between those 2 pegs, so you don't go any further. So that's why those are very easy to do too. I really don't use a hat loom for the scarves. I do have a scarf loom, which is a rectangle loom, and it's got so many pegs on it, and you can double knit the scarves. That's why I've got it's got 2 rows of pegs, and you cast on both back and forth like this, weaving back and forth on your rows, and then you just make a pattern and you knit them off. I've made quite a few scarves that way. I crochet a lot of scarves. I like crafts. They're unique. I love crafting. I'll continue to do this as long as I can, as God gives me breath, and as long as I've got the the hands to do it, because I don't get the carpal tunnel. I haven't so far. Thank goodness for that. It's real easy to get carpal tunnel, but that's why I don't do this continuous. I work on Alex's blanket for a while, then maybe I'll clean a little bit, then I'll go and work on my diamond painting. So I'm doing different things. So I'm not doing the same thing all day long. Um, Although I've been working on Alex's blanket quite a bit lately because I'm trying to get it to the point where I can get it done. Now, he was on my broadcast last night and I told him I was working on it and getting close to getting it done pretty soon. Not yet. It'll probably be a few weeks yet, but it's getting there. But he said, okay. So he's not in any hurry for it. But boy, that's been a challenge to get that thing done because I've made so many mistakes on it. And then I realized I made mistakes, and then I had to take it out and not start all over again. That would have been too much. I had to take it out to a certain point and then go back and fix it, and then continue from where I took it out. So hopefully I won't mess up on this hat while I'm in here. But if I do, we all make mistakes. As you can see, it's coming along. And since this is a yarn, a striped yarn, the colors change very subtly. It's black and green right now, and then it's going to change to a red. And let's see if I can unroll this and see what it's going to be next. Let's see. There's a lot of black here, so I don't know what it's going to be. But there's subtle changes. It might be the pink. Oh, see, it's going to be this color next. It could be that one. So it's going to be a very pretty hat. It's a striped yarn, and what I like about it is it stripes just where it needs to. The colors change just where they need to. You can make a very pretty hats with this. Blankets will be pretty with this yarn too. A very pretty blanket, whatever you want. But I like making scarves as well. And but this is a 10-ounce ball, which means it's not going to take very much yarn to do this, and I'll have quite a bit of yarn left, and I can make several hats with it. Isn't that awesome? You can tell. That's why I buy them so big, because I can make more than one hat with it. So that's what I do. I just make as many as I can with it, and when the yarn's gone, then if I need more of that yarn to finish up a hat, or if somebody wants one, I don't have enough hats, then I go get some more. I have got oodles and oodles of yarn, stacks and stacks of yarn that I need to get used up. So I've had this a while, and I thought, well, I'm just going to bring it in here, and I'm going to work on it at night when I retire for the night, which I retire early because the dogs like to go to bed early. So I really don't fall asleep till about 9:30, 10 o'clock. But I do come in here, and I sit on my bed, and I watch broadcasts from maybe about 4 to 4:30. Watch broadcasts, and if I don't find a broadcast I want to watch, then I come in and do my own for a little while. And then when I get off my broadcast, then I get my night shirt on, and then I just open up my bed and I get ready to go to sleep or whatever. Last night I think I fell asleep. I fell asleep on a broadcast last night on Luke Berry's last night. When I woke up, she was still on and they were still talking. She had guests in there. I thought, boy, I missed a lot, but I can go back and watch the replay. I wasn't a guest on there, but I did watch it for a while, and then I just got tired, so I just went to bed. So now that I'm at the stitch marker, which will be a purl stitch, as I said before, it's going to be the last stitch of the row. Then I've got one row done. Now that I've got this, I'm going to take these off, and then I'll have one row done. Let me grab my stitch marker. It fell on the floor, or my counter, I mean. There we go. Put it over here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the bottom over the top, take all these knit ones off, just like this. You can see them just taking them bottom over the top, bottom over the top. And you can see there's another easy to miss some, so I got to go back and make sure I didn't miss any. Bottom over the top, bottom over the top, bottom over the top, and I'm just pushing them down as I go, so I don't forget to push them down, because if you don't push them down and they fall off, then you got to start all over again. So I got to keep them, and I got to keep my yarn back over this way, because if it gets caught in here, it's going to start, I might end up taking it with the ones that's already on here, and I don't want to do that. So I throw it so it's back here, throw it to the side, and then I just go in and finish the round up by taking the bottom over the top, as you can see, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull them all down, push them all down. When I get done, I'll push them down as I go, and then I'll push them down after I get done here the rest of the way. Just push them down about halfway, picking the bottom over the top. This is a very simple thing to do. If you ever want to take up this loom knitting, just watch some YouTube videos, and you can get them at Michael's. You can get them at Joann's. Now these I happen to get online because I like the very small pegs. My daughter and I both have the same ones. We got these at kblooms.com, which is knitting board. That's what it stands for. So it's kblooms.com, and we got this on, and that's where I got my rotating loom too. These, and all I use on my round ones basically. I do use the rectangle one for my scarves, and I've got a sock loom that I've got plenty of a little bit of sock yarn. I might start making socks. Now that is a harder thing to do because I get so far on a pair of socks, and then I start doing the heel, and I mess up on the heel, and I have to end up taking it off and starting over. I've done that so many times because the heel is very, very complicated. You got to you got to have stitch markers every so often, and you got to count, make sure that you're doing it right. No. So I hesitate doing socks too much. So I just rather buy socks in the store instead of trying to buy them or make them because it's very, very time consuming. It's something I really don't want to have to do. I don't like doing it. So I prefer just to do it the way I've been doing it. But hats, I can't ever find hats I like, you know. So I figure, well, I can make my own, and I can have any color hat I want because I don't particularly care for the colors of hats they have in the stores. So I just go make my own hats. I got plenty of yarn to make them, and that's what I'm now. Now I got the first row completely done. So I'm going to push these all down, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my stitch marker here or my row counter, well, it's already counted to row one. It's already counted. It fell on the floor and counted itself, so I'll just leave that go. So I've got one row done. You can see what it looks like in the back. You can just barely see the back. See, it's looking. I'm going to look at my comments now. Oh, good. You see me. Well, hi, Captain Rehab. Was that you and Vanita's scope or Vanita's broadcast into Periscope? Because we weren't sure if it was you or not. Good to see you. Carmen's on my bed over by my pillow sleeping. Oh, no, it's not a blanket for Carmen. This is, yeah, I can make her a blanket, but she really doesn't sleep with blankets. She doesn't like blankets. If I put a blanket on her, she crawls out from underneath it. So my friend Dad could get his foot out of Friday. Oh, what? My friend's dad. What'd you say? My friend's dad could get his foot cut off Friday because of diabetes. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so bad. That's sad, Damon. I hope not. Diabetes is rough. It's very, very rough, and I hope that doesn't happen. I think I gotta get my water here. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. I had some water and I wanted to drink it because I was getting thirsty. So let me take a drink and then I'll just start another row. I'll just put it up here on the bed. That way I'll have it. Grab it. Okay. Now, I'm going to start another row the same way again. Still a lot of black. You can see it's black and green, black and green, black and green, but it's going to end up being another color eventually. See how many have I got in here now? 171. Awesome. It's coming up. So now I'm going to stitch it, wrap around again for E-wrap. And then the next one's going to be a purl. So this, you can do 2 knits and 2 purls as well. But I like the 1 knit and the 1 purl a little bit better. It makes the brim a little bit tighter. I forgot to tell you, this is the brim, by the way. This is the brim of the hat. And those that are in here now, I will show you an example of this, the hat that I'm making. Only it was a different color. I will show you what I'm making, the exact pattern that I'm making, the finished one. I don't particularly like this brown, but there was a gal that asked for it, and she hasn't even come. But this is the pattern I'm making right now. I'm making this here. This is the brim. And here, these are the knit ones. These are the purls. This is a knit, purl, knit, purl. This is a simple pattern to do. And then you complete it up at the top. You cinch it real good at the top. Oh, yeah, I made this a real tight knit stitch. From now on, I'm going to make it looser because this is a little bit tighter hat than some of them I made because I'd make them too stretchy, and I thought they would fall off my head, but they're just fine. But I'm going to make this, I made this in a little bit tighter. This is supposed to be for Holistic Deb, but she hasn't asked for it yet. So I might give it to Erlene. If Erlene still wants it, she'll have to, I can send it to her. She says she's got a brown coat that'll match it. I don't particularly like the brown, but that's what Deb asked for. And now I've been asked after her to get her address, and she hasn't given it to me, so she may not get it now. But if anybody wants any hats or anything, I'm probably going to do like Michelle, and I'm going to start selling stuff. I like to make things. Now I'm selling selling him my blanket. I'm not making it for nothing. He's going to have to pay for the blanket. So, well, a little closer. I would not, because that's going to be an expensive blanket as it is. So, I'm not going to, just give it to him. He wanted a blanket, and then I had to try to decide, well, what kind of blanket am I going to make? And then I got to thinking about a corner to corner, because my daughter and I had talked about it, and she's made them before, baby blankets and stuff. She's real good at it. And I thought, well, I might as well make a corner to corner. That'll be simpler than some of these other blankets. It might go a little faster. It's easy enough to do. I'm finding that out, but except I've made some mistakes. I don't have to correct them, but that's fine. As long as I go back and correct them. But as long as I get it corrected and do it right, then it'll be okay. But those of you that just came in, what I'm doing is I'm doing a neon hat. I got this yarn at Walmart, and it's from Red Heart, and it's called Neon Stripe. And I thought it was very pretty when I bought it. That's why I bought it. I've never seen a prettier stripe like that. And I thought, well, this will make a very pretty hat. In fact, you can make quite a few hats with it. So that's why I bought it. And what I'm doing is I'm doing the brim now. And this is the second row where I'm doing one knit and one purl. What I'm doing is I'm wrapping around. The ones I'm wrapping around, I'm just leaving on there for now. I'm going to come back to take them off when the row's done, because those are my knits. So I don't have to lose count. I found that out when I was watching a YouTube video on this, and somebody did that, and I said, yeah, that makes sense. Just to go and do your knits and leave them on there, and then wait until you get the row done, then take them off. That way, you have to do something. You don't lose track of where you're at. You just see where you left off and continue. It makes a lot more sense that way, and it's a lot better. It's a lot easier for me anyway. Thank you for everybody coming in here, and let me go and look at your comments. I can't see them on the phone, but I'll come look at them on my iPad. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm coughing so bad. I haven't seen any more comments, but anyway, I do appreciate people coming in, and if you can share this out, I suppose. But I'm streaming this right now through Twitter, Periscope, and YouTube, so it's going there as well. So there's 3 places it's going to. So I don't have to upload them to YouTube. All I have to do is put them into a playlist, and that'll be done tomorrow, because I can't really do it right now. For some reason, they have to be processed and what have you. They probably got to go through everything, and then tomorrow, then I can put it in a playlist. But so far, I haven't had any of my. I have not had any deleted on me. I mean, YouTube's deleted them. I've deleted some myself, but they've never deleted any. Thank goodness. So, because my son was asking me if they have, and I said no. So, because there's a lot of censorship going on. So, with something like this would be okay. Let me get some more water again. My throat's getting dry and I'm coughing a lot. Looks like I'm getting close to 200 now. I appreciate everybody coming in here and watching this. I know it's probably a little boring, but somebody may want to learn how to loom knit. And I think if I can just take a little time and show you what I'm doing, and you want to learn, the best way to do is get some looms. You can start with rectangle ones. They've got them at Walmart. You got round ones too. Start with like the boy ones or whatever. Start with whatever you want with. You don't have to particularly start with these. And just pick a pattern that you want to do, a simple hat or whatever, until you get the hang of it. Because loom knitting can be quite time consuming, can be tedious if you don't understand it. If you have never done it before, it's going to be hard for you to understand how to do it. I learned it all by watching YouTube videos. That's where I got my knowledge. There's a lot on there on YouTube on how to make these, and there you can see I'm doing really well with it. It's coming along fine. Let me see how many I got in here now. 100, and it looks like 188 is getting there. I must have made a mistake on my count before. Didn't see, but anyway, it's getting there. I'm gonna have to get up to below my nose. Excuse me. I have a problem with my nose bothering me, so I'll have to blow it up. Be right back. I'll just bring it over here and that way I'll have it. If I need it, I've got it. Okay, now I'm back. Okay. All right, now to continue on where I left off. So, see, that's what I'm saying. This is making it very simple because I'm going back and I'm looking. See, I just got up. And if I hadn't done left the knits on, I wouldn't know where I was at. I'd have to go back and start from the beginning and start counting. I've done that before. And I'm thinking, this is crazy. I'm going to have to start leaving these knits on here. By leaving this on here, I knew this was a knit and this is a purl. So now I'm going back and I'm doing a knit. So that's why I'm saying this is the best way to do it. You do a brim like this, leave your knits on and go back and take them off when you get them all done. So that way you don't lose count, because you're going to get distracted in one way or another with your children. If you've got children or grandchildren, you're going to get distracted, or your pets may distract you, or what have you, or your husband or whatever or boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever may distract you, and you're going to get yourself flustered. And if you don't do this, you're not going to know where you're at. So this way you know exactly where you left off and you can continue on. And for those that just came in, if you can look real close to these pegs, they got grooves in them, and that's where I stick my tool. Goes right in these grooves right here, and that's how I'm able to pick up the thread and stuff, because without those grooves you cannot do it. I run the thing through the grooves, and you can watch me do that when I do my purl. I'm going to take it into this groove right here. See, I have to get in the groove, come down there and grab it underneath, pull this underneath, and then I come up through the groove again to pull that out. That's why the groove's there. Without that groove, you could not do it. And that's a special thing that they have on these pegs. I never could figure it out at first until I started doing it, and then I realized that's what they're there for. But if you want to learn, like I said, if you want to learn how to loom knit, just start simple. Just start small and work your way up. That's what I've done. I just started small, and then I learned how to do different things. I also, like as I crochet, I got Tunisian crochet, different things that I've learned how to do. Taught myself everything. My crocheting, I taught myself when I was 18 how to do that. Everything that I've learned, I've taught myself. Now, my daughter, when she started crocheting, she started, I think, at the age of 8. And she took it up and she learned quite fast. And she actually does a little bit better than I do. She doesn't, she makes quilt blocks, quilt squares for blankets and stuff. She's got a bunch of those ready to go. It's whenever this COVID is done, and she can send them out, because they won't take donations right now, I don't think. I can understand that with the COVID, because it's kind of messed everything up. But once they can take them again, then she can send them out, because she's got a whole bunch of them piled up, she said. And she has no room for anything, because she's got boxes of hats and scarves and her squares and stuff. And now she's doing a diamond painting in the meantime until COVID kind of gets better. Oh, thank you for the awards. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Let's see who gave them to me. Oh, awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the Super Heart and the Super Clap Award. I've never seen that one before. That's awesome. That's cool. Well, look who it is. It's Alex DeStinka. Good to see you, Alex. Good to see you. I've been working on your blanket, but I decided to show a hat. Look at the pretty color hat. It's going to be Alex. This is a neon stripe. Isn't that pretty? And this is a loom. Alex. I'm doing what they call loom knitting. When I first started loom knitting. I started loom knitting with needles. Well, I grasped it okay. I did it for a long time, and then all of a sudden, I start losing stitches, and I got so frustrated that I put my needle knitting away for the longest time. and I wouldn't take it up anymore. Well, several years back, they came out with these looms. I had never heard of loom knitting before. And I started, and it says loom knitting looms. And I'm thought, what is this loom knitting? So I thought, I'm going to try this and I'm going to teach myself. And I have, and I've loved it. Oh, you guys are so, oh, Alex, you're awesome. Wow. Oh, we are making a hat. Look at that. This is the color of yarn. It's a striped neon hat. And this is what they call a knitting loom. This is a round loom. This is specifically for hats. You can use it for scarves too, but you don't use the whole loom. So I decided to make a hat because my friend Erlene wanted to see how to make this neon hat. I don't know if she's still in here or not, but she came in a little bit ago. She wanted to see how to do this neon hat. She may end up buying it, if nobody else wants it. It's going to be a very, very, very pretty hat. So this is a change of pace from your blanket, Alex. I'd work on your blanket quite a bit every day in the morning. It's coming along. I still got a little enough to do on it yet, but I'm getting there on it. After the struggles I've had to try to keep it from, making mistakes on it. That was human error. I made my own mistakes. Then I had to go back and watch a video on it again to learn where my mistake was, and I figured it out. So that was okay. I corrected my mistake. That's one good thing about crocheting. You can take it back and no problem. You don't have to worry about losing stitches and then they go back and just where you left off. So that was okay. So it's coming along fine now. And I'm also diamond painting. If you ever heard of that, it's with a canvas, got adhesive on it, and you take take these they call them drills, resin stones, diamonds, whatever you want to call them. They call it diamond painting, but they're not really diamonds, but they do sparkle. And you put them on a canvas and makes a picture. You're putting it on a canvas where it goes. There's colors with the symbols, and you find that color that goes with that symbol, and you're making a picture. Now, what I'm doing, I'm starting, barely got started, and I haven't been able to do very much lately, is the Last Supper. And it's a pretty good size one. I cannot show it to you because there's nothing to see. It's all covered up. It's all covered up with release papers that I have to keep the adhesive from drying out until but you'll be able to see it once I start working on it. Now I'm going to take these knit ones off. I'm going to go the bottom over the top. As you can see, I'm taking the green over the black. I'm taking the green over the black. Another green over the black. And just pushing them down. You can see the green over the black. This is very therapeutic. I love loom knitting too. I haven't been doing it as painting, but this is a change of pace. I don't like doing all the same thing. I like doing a variety of crafts, and I think that loom knitting and crocheting and diamond painting, those three, I work on those three, and I think that's plenty. I know people do a lot more. They do embroidery, and I've done that already, but there's probably other things to do too, but I would rather just stick with those three, and that gives me plenty to do for a while. So as you can see, I've almost got this row done, and then I'll mark it with my stitch marker, or my stitch marker, my row counter. This is my stitch marker that showed me where the last peg was in the row. I hate the app because you keep free. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that that's happening, Alex. It's only in beta, and it's going to keep doing that. It's got a lot of bugs to it. I do have it set on Wi-Fi. I should have a better connection now than I did before because I have a Wi-Fi extender, so it should be working a lot better. I do have a pretty good connection right now. It shows a pretty good connection. I decided to put it on Wi-Fi so it would help. So I'm sorry that that's happening, but there's a lot of bugs to be worked out yet. I like the app better than I do Periscope. I heard they just updated it the other day. Why they updated it, I don't know. But they've got problems there too. It seems like every time they had an update with Periscope, something would happen. You'd have a lot more bugs. This one seems to be getting better and better. The last update we had was last week, and there's still a few things they have to do yet. work out the bugs, but they're slowly getting at it. They also have a website called Haps TV, and I have broadcast in there already, but I would prefer to do it on my phone or my iPad because with the broadcast studio on the laptop, you have to keep your mouse moving because if you don't, you get timed out every 5 minutes and then your broadcast is gone. And I had that happen to me a couple weeks ago when Pablo came in and was helping me, and I got just, it quit, it timed me out. And then my broadcast was over. So I don't like it for that reason. A lot of people like the broadcast studio and they're used to it and they know how to use it. But I don't know how to use it that well. So I'd rather just do it on the app because the app is getting better and better and better each and every time they update it. So now I've got 2 rows done. So I'm going to take this counter and I'm going to mark number 2. So you can see there's 2 on here. It just counts it up real quick. So this is just green and black, green and black. Those that just came in, this is the hat. This is the hat that I'm making only with the neon yarn. This is the same pattern. I'm working on this part right now. This is the brim of the hat they call. And then I will do 5 purl rows, 5 knit, 5 purl. And you can see I'm alternating. And then you get up at the top, then you do 10 purl. Up here is 10 purl. And then you fasten it off. I'm going to do this hat has been spoken for. However, the lady that wanted it is not getting back with me with her address to send it to her. So I don't know if she's ever going to get it that way. So I don't know. I wish she'd I keep after her, but I don't know. She's always busy or something. So maybe somebody else will get the hat and I'll get the hat. But this is going to be a pretty hat. You can see with these neon colors, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to like it really well. I'm sorry that you hate the app, Alex. A lot of people don't like it. When it freezes, when it runs perfect, I don't mind it. But when it freezes, I'm like you. It could be a little bit better. Right now, my iPad's frozen. I'm not doing anything in the iPad, but I'm only got it there for the comments anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I just want to take a little break and just sit here and talk for a little bit. But loom knitting has finally come into its own. When I first started loom knitting, you couldn't find a pattern for it whatsoever. You couldn't find any patterns. And finally, when patterns started coming out, I started printing them out, and I thought, well, when they start coming up with enough patterns, then I can start doing them. Well, this particular hat was made from a lady named Denise, and she's got a company called lumahat.com. We found this pattern on that website, and we started doing it. We memorized the pattern because it's a very simple pattern to memorize. So basically, that's the only hat I make. I like that pattern because it's simple to make, and I don't have to think about what I'm doing. I just go and do it, and it's very simple. And I like the hat. I like the fact that I like the texture of it. But this one's even going to be prettier yet. Like I said, I don't care for that brown, but that's what Deb wanted, but she hasn't gotten back to me. So maybe Erlene will get it if she wants it, or this neon hat, whichever. But I will sell hats to anybody that wants them. Scarves. I've got a scarf that I made that's been spoken for, Sky Blue Rain. I don't think she's on Haps. She was on Periscope, but she wanted the scarf, and I need to get back with her too. It's real hard when people want something and they don't get back with you on stuff, But I will be contacting you when I get your blanket done, Alex, to get your address. I'll DM you probably on Messenger or whatever, in public chat or anything like that. But we'll do it that way. But it'll be a while before I get it done. I'm going to work at it slow, Now, I don't know when you want it, but you'll get it this year for sure. Now, I'm coming to a red color, or a red color, pink color, whatever you call it. Finally, I got rid of that black. And like I said, this is a very, very subtle changes in the way it changes. The way it's wrapped, I like the way it's wrapped because it changes real subtly. And it was like almost two rows of that, and now I'm changing it. Now change to this one, and on the third row, and I'm going to have the red. So it's going to be awesome, or the pink. I guess it could be pink, but this will be a very pretty hat. They've got some real pretty colors there, real pretty. Those that weren't in my broadcast the other night, I showed some scarves that I had done, and some shawls that I had made Benita was asking me if I sold any shawls. I haven't sold them either, but I'm working on. I worked on some shawls. I made some of those not quilted, but crocheted shawls, Tunisian crochet and regular crochet. Um, so that they were simple to do. They took a little while to do, but they were simple enough to do. Um, but I enjoy doing crafts. You know why? It's therapeutic, keeps me out of trouble, keeps me busy, keeps my hands busy. You know, they say make your hands make light work or some such thing as that. I don't know the exact quote anymore. Um, but I like to keep my hands busy. And the diamond painting, oh my goodness, that would really keep me busy. I saw one today on um, Facebook that had doing the same painting I am on. I think it's much bigger than mine. Took her 4.5 weeks to do it, and it's absolutely beautiful. Mine, I know it's going to take me a long time to do it. I'm not in a hurry to get it done, but I am going to hang it on the wall when I get it done. That's one thing I want to do is hang that up because I don't have a picture like that on my wall. The only thing I have on my wall that it's like a prized possession is a Thomas Kincaid painting over the fireplace. Um, I love that painting. It's a beautiful painting. He always did beautiful paintings of houses and what have you, lighthouses or different things, beautiful scenes. So, and I've got a couple diamond, one diamond painting supposed to be like Thomas Kincaid. It almost looks like a Thomas Kincaid painting. I haven't started it yet because I'm going to work on the um, Last Supper, and then after I get that one done, I've got the Nativity to do. That one I've only got a few rows of that done. I started that a while back, so I've got a few rows of that done. I got that and started, but I'm working on that, trying to work on the Lord's Supper, and that is going to take a long time to do because I've got it sectioned off. I just do one section at a time, and I'm only on the first section. It's taken me a long time to get some of that first section done because I'm always getting distracted or something. You got dogs. I've got dogs, and boy, they take up my time, especially when the one Carmen, she likes to be up on my bed, or she likes to be up on my chair. She's on my bed right now. She sleeps there all night. But she likes to be up on my chair, and then I can't get up and move because she won't let me. So that is just the way it is. But I'm just going to take my time doing it anyway. But look at that pretty pink color on there now. See, that's a pretty pink. It just started pretty basically, well, not exactly where the rose started, because here's where the rose started, up here, right here, and it come out over here. So it's not too bad. But it's a simple knit and purl. This is actually that's all it is. Several rows of knits and several rows of pearls, and just keep going that way and alternating knits and pearls, knits and pearls, knits and pearls. A very simple pattern to do, one that I think that everybody could take it up real easily. Excuse me. It's actually easier than needle knitting. The needle like that too, but needle knitting, I taught myself it can be very, very confusing. I got so confused at needle knitting. I taught myself that too. I bought some, learn how books. I moved when I was 3 years old, so he didn't have anybody there. So I went to live with him. So cook for him and stuff. So I decided I wanted to take up a hobby. So I decided to get me some crochet books, go down to the Five and Dime or whatever, and get me some books and they had the how to knit and how to crochet with the illustrations. I got those, and I decided I'm going to start learning how to do those. And I taught myself, and I started with the basics. And there's a lot more to learn, really. I haven't learned everything there is about it, but I've done the basics. I've done the stitches that you normally do, and I can make blankets. I can make hats. I can make scarves. I make baby things. For my great grandson, I made him a diaper cover. I made him a hat. I made him a blanket, and I made him some booties for him. I made him for Christmas and sent him to my grandson. And he's a cute little baby. I'll probably never see him because they're so far away because they're in Iowa. but I do have a great grandson now. See, November. He'll be 4 months. He'll be 4 months the 20th of this month. He was born October 20th, so he's almost 4 months old, and he's so cute. Um, really precious. We have to cherish our children, our grandchildren, and our children, grandchildren, and great grandchildren when we get them, because we're not going to be around forever. And I never think I'd ever have a great grandchild yet. My daughter didn't think she'd be a grandmother yet either in her 40s, but here she is, a grandmother in her 40s. So is have to deal with what she can, so you have to just with it. So, but his name is Sky. Why they picked that name, I don't know. Sky Azure, that's his name. So they're not going to send him to school. They're going to homeschool him when that time comes, which I got a long time to think about that because he's just a baby. So times could change between now and then, but he's a cutie. She posts his pictures of him up on Facebook, and I save him and put them up on Shutterfly and what have you. I'm using my phone right now, or I'd show you the pictures of him. I'm using my iPad too, so I'd show you the pictures. But there, I got another row done except for taking the knitting things. But you can see it's coming along fine. See the different colors on there? See how it looks? And look at the inside of it. Isn't that pretty? You got your you got your black and green, and you got your different colors. The inside. These are E's going all the way around. So it's coming along just fine. Let's see how many people I got in here now. 226. Cool. So I'm getting up there. This is not my challenge because I've already met the challenge. But if it was, I would stay in until I had the challenge met anyway. But I wanted to come in here and show you a little bit of how to do this hat. Might do a little bit more because I've got to take these off, and I'll show you again what I'm doing. I'm just taking the knit ones off. I leave them on so I don't get myself confused when I have to get up and walk away from here, and I have to do something that I don't get confused what I'm doing. So I just leave them on, and at the very end I get them all done. Then I pull them off, and then I count how many rows I've got done because I got to do 10 of these before I start the pattern that I showed you. So this will be a simple hat. If anybody wants it, let me know. I can make several hats with this yarn. Quite a few patterns with this yarn. So if anybody wants a hat, just let me know. Yeah, I can see. What are you? I can see your last comment you made. Yeah, I see it. I saw it, Dave. Um, I see your comment. Yeah, I wasn't always looking at the comments, right? But I've been trying to do this, but I decided I looked down on my iPad. I can't see them on the phone, but I can see them on my iPad. So I went into apps on my iPad so I could look at the comments. I'm not. It's frozen as far as me doing anything on it, which is fine. It doesn't really matter. I just wanted to so I could see the comments, see what people are posting, and see what the view count is because we have no way of knowing our view count on here yet. They're going to add that though. Um, they're going to add it where we can know the count because right now on our HAPS challenge we have to have 250 count. And in Benita's broadcast, we were kind of trying to figure out, well, how is it figured? Is it just at the blue eye, or is it all the reactions, or what? And I guess it's at the blue eye, but and then it depends on external. It's like external your things that like Periscope, Twitter, YouTube, and I'm doing those three. So as external I can't think of it now, but your different ones, your multimedia or whatever, and those should count too. So and to get a lot of reactions and to get a lot of rewards. Let's see, how much do I have now? Oh, one love award. Awesome. Oh, thank you for the one love award. That's awesome. You guys are so great. I've got, let's see, looks like I've got 6 awards, 234. Wow. Oh, well, 6 reactions and 7 awards. 7 awards. Sorry, I got 7 awards. I looked at the wrong thing. So I got 6 reactions, 7 awards. Um, the reactions come from the external sources. That's what I meant to say, external sources like your Periscope, YouTube, because I'm streaming this right now to Periscope, Twitter, and YouTube. So those three, I'll get people from all three. So that's why I've done that, so I can get more views. But see how this is coming along? You can see it looks pretty good now. I've got 3 rows done. Um, and this will be, like I said, this will be the brim of the hat. This right here. So what I'm doing is this 10 rows of this, and then I start my pattern where I do 5 rows of purl and 5 knit, 5 purl, 5 knit. I do that 5 times, and the next time I only do 4 rows of purl and 5 knit, and then I do 10 rows of purl. So this is a very simple pattern, a very simple pattern. I love it, and it's one of my favorite. I do this pattern most of the time because that's the only pattern I know a lot to do. I don't have to. I don't even have to count the other patterns. I have to look them up, and I have to count my stitches and stuff. This way I don't have to count them. I just go on around and, but see how this is coming. And for those of you that don't know, these are real small pigs, and look at the groove in there. That's where this goes. This goes in here. That's how I do it with this groove in here. It's only got the groove on the outside. Now I do have a loom that's a rotating loom that they have it both on the inside and outside, because you have 2 looms. You got an outside loom, and then you got a smaller inside one, and you cast on both of those looms, and you go back and forth, and then you go from the outside to the inside. You do the outside, you do 1 loom first, and then you do the other one and take them off. So that's I've got that, and I don't use it as much. I haven't used it very much, but I'm going to go back to using it again eventually. But I wanted to come in here and show you this, to show you how you make a loom knit hat. People are probably wondering, I didn't know anything about loom knitting either until I saw the looms in the stores, and I thought, well, this can't be too hard, and it's not. It's not hard at all. It's a very simple to use. I like the smaller pegs, and the reason for that is I don't have to use 2 strands of yarn. Your bigger peg looms, like your boy looms, are humongous pegs. You really are supposed to use 2 strands of yarn, like 2 strands of number 4. That's what this is, number 4 worsted weight yarn. You take 2 strands. So you'd have to have 2 balls of yarn and 2 strands, which is a little bit harder to work with when you have 2 strands. So I would rather just do it with one strand. So that's why I got these small ones here, because I don't only have to worry about 1 strand. And I've got some baby looms too. Some looms to make baby hats on that are similar to this, only they're very small. There was a package of 3 of them that I ordered, and they came. I think there's a white one and a yellow one and a purple or something like that, I think. But I think there's 2 of these. There's 2 or 3 of these here too. So, and this is the middle one. There's a small one, and then there's this one, and then there's a bigger one. I don't like maybe there's only 2. Maybe there's one other one. That's 80 pegs, and I think that's 80, and I think this is 62, 66, something like that. But that's a little bit too big. That's for great big heads or something like that, great big hats. But I have never used that one. And it's an orange one. I use this and more because it's easy to work with. And believe it or not, this looks like it wouldn't fit anybody's head, but it does, because that's what I made this hat on, was on this loom. And I know it doesn't look like it would fit, but it does. It goes around people's heads because you cinch it up. Once it stretches out on the loom, but once you get it off the loom, then it kind of goes back together again, and it fits perfectly. But this is a simple pattern to do. Loom knitting is coming into its own now. It's really something that I like doing in my spare time. So if you want to take up loom knitting, you can go on your YouTube, and you can try to look for videos on YouTube. You might find something there that you might like to do. Oh, she does. She has these. These are awesome. They're really nice. Because they're smaller pegs. They're very, very small. Now the sock loom I have, it's metal. They're metal pegs. They're even smaller than this, real thin, because it only takes the number 1 yarn, which is a real thin yarn. It's regular sock yarn. I've seen Walmart starting to carry the sock yarn now, but I've got some sock yarn already, so I don't need any more. But it's real thin, and it's made out of wood, and it's a rectangle. It's like this, and a square wood with all these pegs on both, goes all the way around it, and you do scarves, and you have to use stitch markers to mark off your heel and your toe and stuff out like, and that's something I don't do very much of because I don't like having to mark them out. Now I have done slipper socks. I've done slipper socks on the loom. Now those aren't quite so hard to do, and I can show you some slipper socks that I've done. I've got in the drawer. Now those were with heavy yarn though, real heavy, but they were easy to do, and I'll get them out and show you. I'll just show you one for now because the other one's made the same. This is made with a real thick, like a number 5 or number 6 yarn. This was loom knitted on a round knitting loom, and doesn't look at this. You can see this is a very and it fits. It's nice. I wear this over another pair of socks, so I don't wear it by itself because it would itchy. It'd be real itchy. But these are nice, and if you live in a real cold climate where you get well below 0 in the wintertime, these would keep your feet toasty warm. They really would. I like this pattern. It was simple to do, very easy. So I've got some patterns of this too. So if anybody wants anything like slipper socks, you let me know and I can get those for you too. I'm trying to make stuff for people so that I can make a little extra money too. So if anybody wants anything, you just let me know and I can make it for you because I do like making different things for different people. So I probably won't make this too long because I'm going to have to get ready for, do other things pretty soon. But anyway, I just wanted to get a good start on this and let you watch me make this to start on it. You can see exactly, it'll be basically the same throughout the hat. When I start purling, the next one I get this all done, I do a purl. Then I do all the way around the loom, 5 rows. For 5 rows, I do nothing but purl, and that's all. And you saw me do the purls on here. And then I do 5 rows of the knit, and then that's just I do my E-wrap, they call it, and 5 rows of those. And it's just a simple pattern. One that I think that everybody's going to like. I'll probably come back in here. I'll work on this a little bit now and again, and I'll come back in here and do another broadcast of showing something else that I made and show you how I progressed on this. So you can watch me. So I think I'm going to go because I think it's freezing up now. So everyone take care until we meet again. God bless. Bye-bye. I love you all. And